You know, everybody's heard of Smallrig, and Smallrig is definitely famously known for all of their cages that they make for cameras. Now, I've got a Smallrig cage for my Canon M50, got one for my Lumix G7, even my Sony ZV-1 here sports a nice little Smallrig cage on it. And why? Well, because Smallrig is definitely known for the versatility that these cages offer. Like the cage that's on my Canon M50, it has 30. That's right, 30 quarter-inch 20 mounting points on it. So you can mount a ton of accessories on it, whether it's a top handle, you want to put some cold shoe mounts on the side for a microphone, lighting, whatever that you want, you can do it and build it out nicely. But today, we're going to talk about a microphone from Smallrig. It is the Forevala, I believe it's Forevala, the S20. It is an on-camera microphone. And the cool thing about it is that you can have two inputs on it. And what do I mean by two inputs? I mean, on the microphone itself, you can either use the front capsule or you can plug in another audio source, switch it over to stereo. You can break up those two audio points into one being a left channel, one being a right channel, and then fix it in post on how you want to do it. So the audio that you've been listening to so far is from my DIETY S-Mic 2. Let's switch over to this Smallrig Forevala S20 that's on my Canon M50 right now and see how it sounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm approximately about 2 feet away from the camera, so if you want to get some good audio from the camera, this is definitely the distance that you want to be from your camera, and this is probably the distance that a lot of people would be. Outstretched arm. I've got a longer wingspan than the average person, but gives you a little idea. The frequency range on this is from 50 hertz up to 20 kilohertz, and it is an all aluminum build on this microphone. Now it comes with a shock mount on it. It's kind of a little Rycote style shock mount. You've got the ability on top of the microphone to choose between stereo or mono. If you have it on mono, obviously that's going to be a mono signal on both left and right channels. If you go stereo, that's where you want to use an additional microphone source. And well, speaking of additional microphone source, let's go ahead and test that out right now. So the Smallrig microphone, it actually comes with a lapel microphone with it. It's got a nice little foam shield on it. And by the way, speaking of foam shield, the microphone itself that's on camera does come with a foam shield that you can use. And that's this little guy right here. Or you can use a dead cat if you're out in windy conditions. So let's go ahead and plug in. First, let me get this clipped onto me here. Let's clip it onto my jacket. And then we'll plug this in. So now we're listening to audio coming from the lapel microphone and also the scratch audio coming from the on-camera microphone. So a quick little test, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this audio any better than what the microphone's audio is? I'm going to suspect that it's going to be a little bit better on the microphone itself versus this right here. The microphone is built, like I said, from aluminum, and it's got that nice little hexagonal pattern on it, so it's kind of a cool little design. It is very robust feeling in the hands, but you know, when it comes to on-camera microphones or it comes to lapel microphones, it's all about the audio quality and how does it sound. So we're going to test that. And by the way, speaking of testing, let's do some self-noise tests. I got to find a room that's super quiet. Be right back. All right, so now I'm in the quietest room in the house right now. There's no air conditioning or heat going on. No background noises at all. So let's just see the self-noise that this microphone generates. So let's see how it sounded. I will say kudos to Smallrig for getting into the microphone world and trying to provide us with a little bit more added gear for video making. And the kit is very nice. It's got the foam windscreen, it's got the dead cat, and then it also comes with that lapel microphone, which is also a very nice added touch. Now when it comes to the shock mount that's on this, let's just test out and see how the shock mount sounds. I'm just going to vibrate the camera a little bit. And I'm making a point with this. did it make any noise? Because the shock mount on this one here, if I was going to say that there's anything negative about the microphone's design, it's not so much the microphone as it is that shock mount. The shock mount is very, very, very stiff, and it doesn't have a lot of play with it. So it's going to transfer a little bit of handling noise into the microphone capsule itself, which is obviously going to be picked up as an audio signal, and you're going to have that little rumble sound that gets picked up on your recordings. You know, there may be some people out there that say, well, you know, this microphone, it only picks up from 50 hertz up to 20 kilohertz. Is that a bad thing? No, it's not. You know, some people may even say it doesn't complement my voice at all, but I think that it does because, you know, there's not a whole lot of, yes, the human hearing can go down to 20 hertz. 20 hertz is not something that's going to be audibly picked up from the human vocals. So even if I try to talk as deeply and as low as I can, this is still going to pick it up at 50 hertz. So don't worry about the frequency range on this one at all. And another nice thing about Smallrig, you know, when you look at this microphone setup, it's not just for on camera. So if you've got a setup with your mobile device and you like to filmake with your mobile device, this can actually work with your mobile device because it comes with an included cable that goes from TRS to TRRS. So if you're a mobile filmmaker, you can still use this microphone with it. A nice little item from Smallrig. I definitely love their cages. I'll put a link in the description below for all these cages. Especially, I really like the one for the Canon M50 that I'm using right now because the cage is great. Like I said, it's got 30 different contact points with a 1/4-20 on it. It's got a couple 3/8 mounts on it. It's got one cold shoe mount, so if you want to slip a light onto it, kind of like this little Wii light, the SO3 that I reviewed right up here in that video, you can slip that on there as well. Nice little setup. But all in all, nice little product. Smallrig, definitely been around for a long time. They make some great, robust products. Kudos to them to getting into the microphone world. Speaking of microphones, you know, March is going to be one of those months where I'm thinking I'm almost going to have to call it Microphone March. Why? Because I have got a ton of microphones to review. That's right, a ton. A couple products from Mayono I've got to do. One from Lensgo. Got the Ceramonic I've got to do. So if you're in audio, you're into microphones, guess what? You're going to get a lot of different samples of microphones to kind of choose. So anyway, product links in the description below so you guys can check it out for yourself. And remember, I'll catch you in the next review. Bye-bye.